blast off. Let's do it. You're looking very Turkish, uncle, today. That's because I parted my hair and pulled it back rather than the normal, like, let it ride. Normally, I just let it ride, and I pulled it back today. So that's why I look more Turkish when I do that, especially with the mustache. Egghead is amazing. Egghead is peak. Oh, my God. Okay. It looks a lot better parted when you rock that nasty-ass caterpillar on your lip. What are you saying? The caterpillar is not nasty. Egghead Island arc. Albert Einstein is a socialist in real life and in One Piece. Yeah, there's so many gems. There are so many gems in Egghead that like reveal Oda's overarching perspective on politics and the world that, I mean, he just slams you in the direct head with it. He slams you in the face with it the entire time. So I feel like if you're not, if you're like, you have to be genuinely oblivious to everything. Like, you have to forget how words work if you don't understand what he's saying there. Like, there are straight up moments where they're talking about like energy, you know. Vegapunk's like, Albert Einstein basically is like, oh, the entire point of the world is like, I'm trying to make sure that energy is free, that people can have free energy. And then Jinbei's like, energy is the seed that grows the warfare or whatever. Like, there are so many instances where they're talking about like natural resource extraction and how that causes war. Yeah. Also, the fucking Navy is always up to some Israel shit, dude. Straight up. Like, when they go to the village and they pick up the grandma, when they go to Whitebeard's village and they pick up the grandma and the guy is gonna, the Navy is like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, damn, bro, this is Israel. Like, this is just straight up Israel, dude. Navy is literally IDF doing Israel shit on a regular basis. So funny. Anyway, they're like, yeah, you're outside of the sphere of world government, America influence. So sorry, you are less than a human. We will kill you. We will extract all of your natural resources. We will extract whatever kind of wealth you have. We will at times enslave you. And there is not really anything you can do about it. Shave your beard down to the skin, no electric razor bullshit, and take your glasses off and take titty pics. Bro, are you okay? Like, this guy is giving me coordinates on how, like, he's giving me coordinates on his next fat material, dude. Calm down, okay? Jesus Christ. Y'all are gonna make it so that, like, I'm the first male to be successfully objectified. You know what I mean? Jesus, Lord mercy. Yeah. That's too weird and specific. Yeah, he thought he was chatting in OnlyFans or something, dude. Boats are goats, and you were wrong. Address the allegations. Yeah, okay, we're gonna get to that in a second. But let's blast off, okay? 25 days till E-Day, Pole Watch, Hog Watch, Hurricane Aftermath, Israel X Lebanon, Trump X Andrew Schultz, and more. Get in now. Okay, let's freaking go, fam. Let's freaking go, fam. Cover yourself. What? Okay, guys, it's not a challenge. Like, when I say, wow, you're gonna make me feel like you're gonna objectify a man successfully for the first time ever, is not a challenge for you, okay? I don't know why some of you took that up as a challenge and you're like, no, I'll show you, I can do it. Album react to Brat? Why? What the frick? What? A Hollywood Reporter's most influential influencers list is out, and Jimmy Tatro made it. I feel like, as far as industry publications goes, this is one of them that I'm never going to make it onto. And I will straight up say, my opinion, I'll say it, my opinion on Israel-Palestine is part of the reason, in my estimation. I feel like the Hollywood Reporter is a little bit out there. Okay, they are not putting my ass on this list. Come on, guys. The Hollywood Reporter is the publication that fucking shit on Jonathan Glazer. I will never forget that. Careful, they're gonna say you sound like Kanye. This has nothing to do with Jews, brother, and everything to do with Israel. I just gave you an example of the Hollywood Reporter shitting on a descendant of Holocaust survivors who won a fucking Oscar for his Holocaust movie. What do you think Jonathan Glazer's religion is? It is like objectively the opposite of Kanye West, which is hilarious because Kanye West on Israel doesn't really talk about Israel too much. He just hates Jewish people. Not enough Israel conversations from Kanye, if you've noticed. And a lot more about Jews in particular, and even including but not limited to, including but included but not limited to mother freaking wait, what is this? Oh, the Hollywood Meet Your New A-list. From staggeringly talented TikTokers to Instagram stars, we can't look away. These are the names who will and should be dominating the business and the new and old media. Yeah, these end of the year reports are out. It's mostly PR. It's mostly PR. Like if you have PR people who will get on here. I mean, I recognize. I mean, Brett Marag, I recognize. Amelia, this is her name. Isn't this the chicken shop chick? Her name is Amelia Dimmel-Denberg. Brett Marag, Brittany Broski. Okay, that's sick. She made it on there. That's cool. I don't know who this is. I think Huddy. Is this person still making stuff? I thought. Okay, that's I kind of know who that is. Don't know who these people are. Delaney Rowe. She's dope. If you all recall, old school Hasanabi has probably remember. Delaney was. I was at Coachella with her last time I went to Coachella. She's dope. She's very funny. Drew Afuelo. I think I know who that is. Know who this is. Don't know who this is. This is literally just a Kennedy. What the fuck? They just put a Kennedy on here. Okay. Pass that puss. Jay Shetty. Oh God. Jimmy Tatro. That's cool. I'm glad that Kai's on here. I mean, he deserves it. Kareem deserves it too. Honestly, I think he does a great job. Kareem has some really cool shit. Keith Lee, obviously, incredible stuff. Don't know who these people are. Lily Singh is like at this stage, basically, they just put her on as padding. I don't even know anything that she's done recently, but you know, RDC World absolutely deserves it. Mark Phillips. You don't know Laufey? Who's Laufey? No, I don't. She good. Listen to her music. Mark Phillips deserves it. New York Nico is pretty cool too. There's a lot of like, dude, the media always plays catch up on this shit. The media always plays catch up on this shit. Like putting fucking Noah Beck on here is dude, you're putting him on here like he's 3 years. You're 3 years late to the game. Like I feel like this dude had his peak. Like Charlie D'Amelio too. New York Nico kind of sucks. Wait, he does? Why? I think he does some pretty cool stuff. Like Lily Singh as well. It's like all of this, people for the most part, nice and uncontroversial. No wonder Hasan isn't even getting close to this. Yeah, of course. This list is like very brand safe. Sean Evans deserves it. Don't know who the triplets are. Tana Mongo, well, Mojo, sorry. She's controversial, but she's on there. The agents. Okay. I wonder if my agent's. Oh, Ben Davis. That's my agent. He made it at WME. There you go. At least my agent made it. Ben Davis. Wait, is there, bro? Do they not have a single Muslim on here? God damn. Am I crazy? Oh no, they have Kareem. Is Kareem Muslim? Kareem is also like pretty pro-Palestine. Bro, why do they always snub I Show Speed on this shit? It's crazy. It actually is fucking crazy. Like, I'm sorry. I Show Speed deserves to be on every single one of these fucking lists. Okay? How are we, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Actually, what are we doing? Y'all are fucking nuts. Like, it just demonstrates how old the editorial team is. Like, I don't place a lot of emphasis on these lists in general. I don't think these lists are like, these lists are all just like PR. And there are some cool people on these lists, by the way. A lot of people on this list I like. And I'm sure the people I don't know are, wonderful content creators in general. But like, I Show Speed literally is one of the, in my opinion, most influential young content creators out there. This dude did an Asia trip. Okay. He is America's cultural ambassador at this point. Not even a question. I'm 33 years old and I recognize it because I'm in this space, right? This dude straight up is he's getting like 1 million fucking live concurrent viewers in Malaysia and shit. And these guys are like, oh, I don't know. Who is that? I was calling Speed weird when he's the only influencer in this world who could draw a crowd in any foreign city. And he's by far the largest pro-Palestinian content creator in the world. Chat is fucking delusional. I know. He's 19 years old and unconditionally pro-Palestine. Like, yeah, bro went to fucking Albania and met the prime minister, dude. What are we talking about? Like what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, that's insane, dude. That is an insane snub. I genuinely don't understand how iShowSpeed does not make it on these lists on a regular fucking basis. Definitely the editorial age gap. Yeah, it's gotta be. I don't think it's because of the fact that he's like super pro Palestine. I don't think it's that at all. I think it is straight up a direct consequence of the age gap. Like, editors just they're not tuned in. They don't know what's going on. Brother, how is your agent making it on this list and not you? I mean, I'm not. I do have enough decent PR. It just depended on like if a reporter that like played a role in the article has enough motion or not. That's pretty much it in these situations, because I make it onto these lists regularly as well, as you know, but it's just entirely about the editorial staffing. Like, that's what it is. But yeah, I think it's crazy that they just like they just don't put iShowSpeed on these lists. Like, it's a snub for sure. They're blackballing you. No, they're not, man. Come on, guys, calm down. Okay. For the position that I'm in, okay, for the place that I'm in my career as a political commentator with perspectives that are completely unheard of in mainstream media, I get a tremendous amount of positive news coverage. And it is directly a consequence of the reality that I have actual fans and friends in these places, in these outlets. That's it. If you think that I'm not getting like good coverage, you're crazy. There is no world in which a guy like me with my opinions is going to get any positive coverage whatsoever. That is historically not a thing that people, that's historically not a thing that happens. Okay. And the only reason why it's happening, usually, the only reason why it happens is because there are plenty of wonderful people in these places, in mainstream outlets, that understand where I'm coming from. That's it. I told you, as one of these editors, iShowSpeed is dangerous. His content is duplicatable by kids. They will copy him, i.e. jumping over a moving car. He will get someone killed with his stunts, bro. I think that might be one of the reasons. But I do still think that I still think that it's like, there are plenty of people on those lists that have done shit, you know what I mean, in terms of liability, but they're still on there because they have better PR. So you think without your friends, you may not have ever gotten that kind of coverage? Yes. Yeah, for sure. It's a couple different things. One is, number one, I have like a lot of people who are like-minded or fans or friends of mine that work at these places. That's one of the reasons why I get positive coverage unceremoniously and uniquely in comparison to like like an Amy Goodman, you know what I mean, who's been doing this for years. Another reason is because I have a massive audience. I am the largest leftist, Democrat, catch-all, progressive, liberal content creator in North America. So there's that. The other reason is also because I don't just do straight pipe news coverage usually. I do a bunch of different things. I do a bunch of a variety things. And that's that, I think, is the reason. Yeah. I really like Speed. I think he's great. I think he is blossoming into a wonderful content creator overall. He's still incredibly young, and I'm glad. Like, he could be a ginormous piece of shit, okay, given his age. A 19-year-old boy, dude. Are you kidding me? Do you know what 19-year-old men are looking at? Do you know what they're saying? Do you know what they're doing? Guys, get your, sorry to burst your bubble, but like, it's pretty fucking bad out there. It's pretty goddamn reactionary in this space. I'm sure plenty of you are at this age group or close enough to this age group so you know what your peers look like. Anyway, I'm gonna be real, dude. iShowSpeed is like the closest to a Luffy type individual in the real world. Okay, he is the closest to a Luffy type person that you can get. Also interesting, Drewski isn't on there. Yeah, that's another person who is like, there's a lot of content creators on there that like is shocking. Yeah, he's also fucking pro-trans, dude. That's crazy. Those are like, dude. He did the inverse. He literally took positions that are the most unique for his age demographic. Okay? He's like pro-trans and pro-Palestine. Those are like the two things that we can't even get the fucking Democratic Party to be on board with unconditionally. What do you mean, dude? Drewski is talented. Stop hating. Wait, no, I agree. I think Drewski's very funny. He is a chaotic positive. Anyway, what are you talking about? Kai's on the list. They have the same type of audience. Only difference is speed is bigger. International and pro-Palestine has nothing to do with editorial age, in my opinion. Dude, are you kidding me? You cannot compare Kai Cenat to iShowSpeed. Kai Cenat is so buttoned up and so smart in the way that he has been able to brand himself. Are you kidding me? I just told you, like, Kai is a phenomenal entertainer, okay? But Kai also is getting fucking massive brand deals. Bro, Kai is like one step removed from doing fucking like iPhone commercials, and you're comparing him to Speed. Like, it's not even close. Kai has a Nike deal, dude. He streamed with Kevin Hart. iShowSpeed is a fantastic entertainer. These guys both are fantastic entertainers in similar ways and in very different ways, okay? But in comparison to one another, like, Kai is infinitely more PR ready and buttoned up than iShowSpeed is. Like, that's a funny comparison to make. Like, Kai is a genuine, almost Hollywood style celebrity at this point. Half of these shadows don't even know what Speed has been up to. They remember him showing his dick by accident or making a horrible joke at 17, completely unconnected and untapped while claiming to be extremely online while telling me to enjoy my own hug box. Ironic. Yeah. Speed is Luffy, Kai is Sabo. I don't know enough about what Sabo's been up to because currently I'm at the part of the story where Sabo is like, you know, doing some crazy shit. So yeah. Yeah, Kai did a fucking T-Mobile ad with Patrick Mahomes and Snoop Dogg, bro. Are you kidding me? He's doing iPhone commercials, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Of course he's gonna be on those. Of course he's gonna be on those fucking lists. Like, he has so much more PR backing him than Speed does. What? Kai said he's going to North Korea.
Where they from? Korea. I want to go to North Korea so bad, Chad.
Wait, what?
Korea. I want to go to North Korea so bad, Chad.
Did he actually say I want to go to North Korea so bad? No fucking way, dude. Yo, the dude. Every young streamer, every young black streamer is a revolutionary Maoist third worldist, dude. Okay. Every single one. What is going on? No, I'm kidding. I know he don't got internet. This community gets so much hate for this exact reason, by the way. If you personally ever want to know the bad things someone did, just say that you like them. I always hated that. I know. Anytime I bring up someone, there is like a laundry list of shit that they've done over the course of their entire career that people will like immediately be like, how dare you? Like, people just have no way of looking at the entirety of a person and weighing it against like the imperfections that we all have, especially when you compare someone who is not as buttoned up as a traditional celebrity, because like in this new era of superstardom and celebrity, you don't have like massive fucking PR teams. Yeah, it's just, you can't like look at people as like entertainers and then judge it against like you have no idea. Here, I'll give you an example, okay? People will be like, oh, Kai did this or Kai did that, or oh, Speed did this or Speed did that. Not realizing that like all of the motherfuckers you stand for, you have no idea what their background is at all. You have just never seen them because they became famous at the age of 30 and have been surrounded by a fucking team of basically scientists that are making sure that every time they step foot outside is perfectly manicured. Okay? So you judge people off of the demigod status that like a lot of traditional Hollywood celebrities have without realizing that these are just like normal people who just pop the fuck off, you know, over the course of like a couple years. That's it. Are these people not in extremely privileged positions? Who are they not held to Who are they not held to a higher standard? That's great. That's a great way to fucking look at it. You're right. I'm comparing them to people of similar levels of privilege that don't get the same level of scrutiny because they do not have the same level of access. Okay? That's it. I'm trying to explain to you why. Did you already talk about Young Philly? Who the fuck is Young Philly? I'm trying to explain to you why you don't have this same level of scrutiny for every single person. Dude, every goddamn day, some motherfucker comes in here and is like, bro, have you heard about Fruity Foo-Foo? Why are you not talking about Fruity Foo-Foo, man? Like, I'm telling you right now, this guy, of chunks. Okay, now you're just making it up. Now you're just making shit up. That's not, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck you are talking about, dude. Bro, come on. Dude. What are you saying? He's a dude in Nico's squad. Nico Amalana. Oh, UK YouTubers. Okay, that's why I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. He and Baby Gronk rizzed up Livy Dune. I'm so old, dude. I'm so fucking old. God damn it, dude. Oh my lord. First P was a member of a JSOC operations team in Afghanistan smuggling heroin into the EU. All right. The bloke mind virus. Yeah. Young Philly, friend of Chunks and Nico Omalana. See, I know Nico of the Beta Squad based in the UK. You see what the NFL is up to with Robert Massage Table. First time sports leagues across all America. Athletic icons and rising stars are calling a timeout against hate. Wait. Okay, do you guys want to know something really funny? I know this is a timeout, but this is literally, bro, this right here is also, it's what Hasan Nasrallah used to do. They come in vertically and they leave horizontally. This is a Hezbollah hand sign too. Bro, this is so funny. No, I'm not even kidding. This literally, bro, this right here is like a in the region in Lebanon. You do that, or in the Middle East when you do that, if you're at least like a little bit knowledgeable over these sorts of affairs, this is a hand signal for if Israel comes in specifically to Lebanon, they will come in vertically, but they will leave horizontally, as in they will leave in coffins. I know it also means timeout. Like this is a timeout in sports. It's just funny that like, yeah, they see is a symbol of the IRGC and Hezbollah jihadi terror. The T hand gesture. By the way, jihadi terror, brother. What do you mean jihadi terror? It literally means we will resist you if you invade us. How is that also jihadi terror? I love this take. It's like, yeah, if you fight back, if someone invades you and you happen to be Muslim, you have to die. If you don't die, you are anti-Semitic. Like, what a perfect demonstration. What a perfect demonstration of how fucked up this entire process is. Where it's like, yeah, you came in vertically standing, you'll leave horizontally dead. Someone should ask Kasra Arabi where they're coming in vertically. It was promoted by Hasan Nasrallah and became the IRGC symbol for threatening hard revenge terrorism. I'll be raising this with Canada's Parliamentary Foreign Affairs Committee later today. This guy. One of the anti-Israel protesters of the Walk with Israel in Toronto had an IRGC logo on his hat. Does anyone know what this hand gesture means? From Beirut to the Bay Area. In sports, we call a timeout when things are heading in the wrong direction, and right now in our country, hate is winning. And we need to change the momentum, said Kraft, the founder of the Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism. Bringing together the commissioners of North America's major sports leagues for this campaign is a historic and crucial step in our fight against all hate. By uniting under a common cause, we amplify our messages and demonstrate that the power of sports extends beyond stadiums, arenas, and fields and into our communities. This initiative is a call to action for everyone to join us in creating a world where hate is met with unified stand for empathy, understanding, and respect. There is something very funny. There is something very funny about Robert Kraft doing the fucking getting everybody to do the timeout symbol to unite against hate. There is something ironic about it. Like, bro, he's literally doing it. He's doing it. The closer you get to this, the more you do they come in vertically, they leave horizontally. I hope Doc Rivers gets called a terrorist for what he did to my Sixers. Yo, no Rivers hate, okay? I'm friends with one of his children. So, oh man, this is pretty funny. Austin Rivers? No, Jeremiah. I said one of his kids. I would have said Austin Rivers if it was Austin Rivers. I've known him for many, many years. Megaphonics, there's something funny about you getting timed out while talking about literal timeouts. Can you please tweet a side-by-side timeout post with Hasan Nasrallah doing it too and stop? No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. People are going to get mad at me and they're going to yell at me. Anyway. No, they're not calling a timeout for the genocide, by the way. They're calling a timeout to stop anti-Semitism, which is funny because it implies that, like, we're going to stop it for a little bit and then we're going to let it continue. There's so much to make fun of with this campaign. I love these initiatives. They're just so stupid. Hey guys, can we please put a timeout on being mean to Israel, which I think is anti-Semitic? And then you can let it continue again. Once Israel's done cleaning out the entire region ethnically, we can get back to being anti-Semitic. Yeah. Also, fired head coach Robert Saleh after wearing the Lebanese flag patch. But you know, there's enough plausible deniability there for why he got shit canned. Not accurate. Yeah, I know. I'm saying that he has worn the fucking Lebanese patch for. I know he's worn the Lebanese patch for quite some time. You know why I know that? Because of Will Neff. Okay, I know. Do you think the league will institute a policy to stop this like they did with Black Lives Matter? Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm not gonna be holding out on that. Okay. Did you see the Rizzler playing for the Knicks? What? Oh, dude, he is literally so perfectly chicken nugget sized and shaped. It's crazy, dude. This is America's. This Egghead hating the Rizzler is so funny. I'm so sick of the talentless piece of shit, dude. You did not just call man's chicken nugget. He is, dude. Look at him. Okay, listen. I think this is peak America. Okay, having like a big fat child who is on the verge of of diabetes as a kid. Like this is peak America. Okay, he's having a grand old time. I love this kid. I love this kid because like I was him. Okay. Respect. He is our Moodang. He is. He really is. He looks like Moodang. Bro, he is. He's America's Moodang. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Also, yeah, every Knicks fan does look like him. He looks like every Knicks fan that got hit with the fucking age gun where they de-aged him. What do you do if you see this? Speaking of Moodang, did the chatter ever send you bath time videos to react to? Oh, yeah. Moodang doesn't have a fuck ass haircut though. Bro, chill. They just got the cop haircut. Also, another fucking group of content creators that are weirdly pro-trans. Okay, so respect to them. I think that they have a trans family member, if I'm not mistaken. So I feel like if you're this cop coded, like you shouldn't be pro-trans. So the fact that they are is good. Who's this kid? He's called the Rizzler. This is AJ and Big Justice, right? Did I get their names right? They're the Costco boys. They're Costco guys. AJ is a family annihilator. Gonna be a 2-hour, 57-minute YouTube video about him in 8 years after the end of this whole thing. Okay, calm down. The Rizzler is gonna be one of those fat guys who gets the tops of his hands tattooed first. Despicable bastard. Egghead hates them. Damn, Egghead. Chill. I mean, they look the part. I've seen the BTS videos. It is a little crazy. Adam updated the tweet. Stop. Guys, you're going to get me in trouble, please. Please stop. Your GOAT's son is so washed. He has less points than Big Justice. Bro, let's not talk about bronnie, okay? I read an article that was like NBA insiders that, bro, when you got like NBA executives giving anonymous quotes to like ESPN about how bad bronnie is, shit's looking like shit's looking like the White House. Okay. It's such a disastrous situation that you got NBA executives being like, dude, he is straight ass. He would never be here. And he is never gonna be good. Like it is fucked up. M Hud hates the Rizzler, but when he's 24 tatted and makes the same content for 143 views on YouTube, he will watch his content every day. Yes, this is 100% correct. Somehow, the content will also be made. This is fucking what, like 2 decades almost into the future, but the content will be shot with like the most Vaseline smeared cam footage, the most grainy footage of all time, making it seem like M Hud right now. Yeah. It will somehow look like it was shot in 1998 with a fucking hand cam. Too real, but only if he has no viewers. Exactly. Do you think Jesus was white as a poverty class person 2024? What? 2024 years ago, living in the Middle East? You all right, man? I love hanging out on X, the Everything website. It's a good place to have nice conversations with normal dudes. Zuck, Asian wife. Trump, imported wife. Bezos, Latina girlfriend. Mitch McConnell, Asian wife. JD Vance, Indian wife. People are going to hate this, but it's true. White supremacy is quote unquote real insofar as white women are the ultimate signifier of worth. Zuck/JD not marrying white women proves their social undesirability. It only edifies this role of white women that they rejected them. What? Dude, what? People are so, oh my God, dude. It's like, what are these guys doing? Like, what are they saying? What are they doing? I don't understand it. I don't want to know. What a crazy fucking, what? These are the only people that can make Zuck look normal. Dude. Zuckerberg went through this transformation that's like pissing me off. Okay? He's been going through this like weird transformation where he basically he got hit with the Dominican ray, and ever since then everyone like really loves him, and it's pissing me off, dude. I don't like it at all. Like, he's got the fuckboy fits, he's got the fuckboy cut. He went and got like a custom made Porsche for him and his wife. He can also fight now, which is kind of scary. Yeah, he heard your everyone could be a 7 speech. Yeah, he's been watching Hasanabi to become a worse version. Yeah, the car is kind of cool. Zuck unveiled his wildest innovation yet, a Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT minivan. That is, by the way, this is low-key the most Chinese thing you can do. Okay? I don't know if you guys know this, but in China, the same exact cars that you can get here, they have it in China, but they make them longer. Okay? That literally is the Chinese move. I'm sure a Chinese executive was like, damn, I did that like 8 years ago. Nobody fucking talked about it. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but that right there is straight up Chinese executive with his entire lineage currently in Ivy League institutions right there. They don't do this in America, but every single one of the Western car manufacturers that sell vehicles in China actually have different fleets that are significantly longer than the normal like regular production that they sell in the United States of America, and they make it longer for a couple different reasons. One, because of family, and two, yeah, L series. Like they literally will take the same exact car and they will just make it a longer wheelbase. It's for wealthy people. It's so that they have more leg room in the back. What? I'll never stand for the Zug hate. People only hated him because he's autistic. Are you insane? He literally facilitated a genocide and is doing another one right now, actually, on fucking Meta with Israel. Oh, there is very good reasons to hate this man. He is a monstrous piece of shit. That's crazy. What is this? This is kind of cool, though. Yeah. He literally did a genocide in Myanmar and was like, oops, my bad. Straight up. Gonna do a fusion dance with Jack Harlow during the NFL halftime. They're just preparing him as the vessel body. Yeah. Okay, last thing before we get to the news, and I will be covering Lieutenant Dan, don't worry. Here is our boy Eric Hasanabi head doing the most.
Hank Pecker, thanks for the 10 gifted. Tall Tree, Dusty Road. Oh wait, that's a variant of the Israeli Galil rifle. We gotta be over here in Israel. What? Why are there Israeli weapons in the middle of Myanmar? Despite an international arms embargo dating back to 2017, Israel has continuously armed the genocidal Myanmar government. According to documents obtained by Haaretz, IAI has shipped at least 250 metric tons of arms to Myanmar since 2018. These arms have been used to perpetrate...
Bro, I swear to God, they're on the wrong side of every battle. Okay? The GeoGuessr Israel guy, Eric Hovagim videos got mass reported by Hey Watchers after you watched them. Yeah, but it also fucking boosted his account quite a bit. So... you know, I think it's good. He's like popping off.
The ongoing Rohingya genocide, which has killed nearly 50,000 and displaced 700,000 more. But this isn't even the first time this has happened. In 1955, Burma and Israel reached a rice agreement, meaning Israel would arm and train Burma's military in exchange for thousands of tons of rice. This included 30 fighter aircraft, hundreds of thousands of rounds of ammo, 1,500 napalm bombs, 30,000 rifle barrels, thousands of mortars, and general military equipment like scouts tents and parachuting gear. And in 2021, the Myanmar army used Israeli drones, armored vehicles, and spyware during the military coup that deposed the democratically elected leader, Suu Kyi.
Isn't this just Israel being our proxy CIA department? We don't just use them to arm people. We want to keep it at an arm's length anyway. Yes. Yes. His whole, like, Israel's entire shtick is it's an extension, okay? It's an extension of American empire. It helps you understand why our allegiances run so deep.
But on the bright side, it gave us this iconic video.
Yeah, Eric is popping off, dude. Israel's the 51st state of America. Guys, Israel is the 51st state of America, but is also the most important state. Okay? I need you to understand. I've been saying this for years and years and years. Knowing what we do know about Israeli prisons in general, Israeli treatment of journalists, is quite fair to say Jeremy Lafredo's life is in danger. Yeah. Have you watched the Johnny Harris video where he says spending all this money in the military is necessary? That's every Johnny Harris. You just described every Johnny Harris video. Johnny Harris is the perfect representation of all the wars in the past were bad, but the current one is very good. And also, we kind of need to have this like long dick of the military. Most recent Chapo Felix said it best. Israel isn't the 51st state. It's the only state. Yeah, okay. I've been saying that for quite a while too. Okay, calm down. Saying that the 51st state is stupid. No, it's a good entry point into the conversation. Israel is the 51st state, but it's not like a lame ass fucking state like Wyoming or Montana or even North Carolina, apparently, which is a pivotal state in the upcoming election. Okay. What is more important is Israel. Am Israel high. The Carolinas are weeping every day. But have you considered that Israel has a right to defend itself and is running out of ammunition? Lindsey Graham. Is Montana being mentioned? Dog, Montana is literally a fucking nuclear sponge, okay? If you want to understand how little America gives a fuck about Montana, remember that it is a part of America's nuclear deterrence, nuclear sponge package. As in, if all-out nuclear warfare was to be conducted, Montana would be wiped out. That's where the silos are, okay? Why do you think they put them there? Why are the silos not in California? How long do you think before Israel gets to vote in the U.S. elections? What do you mean? What election has Israel not voted in so far? How long before? As in, how long have they done it? The answer is 75 years, 76 years. Not necessarily, but definitely a lot more recently. That's crazy. Even decommissioned the silos in South Dakota to move them to Montana. Ain't no one cares about Montana. Yeah. I thought a lot were in Wyoming. There's 5 states that are considered nuclear sponge states. Okay. I will reveal them after the top of the hour ad break. And if you want to know what those 5 states are that are a part of our nuclear deterrence package, you are going to have to subscribe for $6 because the real nuke is the 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $6 or for free with a Twitch Prime or by getting gifted a sub if you are lucky. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. What? Mons, please make sure he sees that stream clip I just made of him. It needs to be shared wide. Polar Bullet, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Allowing 5 people to no longer. Kamala went on a TikTok podcast? Ain't no fucking way. I'm not tripping, but that Johnny Harris video was only critical of U.S. military spending. It was about how all the private sector interests exhibit corrupt practice protected by laws, lobbying. I haven't watched the latest. I haven't watched a big chunk of the latest and greatest Johnny Harris videos in a while. Partially because, wait, let me see. Also updates. I'm gonna have Edinger Mentham on to talk about Kamala's chances and how much she's flubbing, but why she still is most likely gonna win. I'm also gonna have Ested on as well. Ested has been popping off, friend of the show. Ested at the New York Times has been getting a lot of pop-off moments, both on CNN as a panelist, and also he was on The Daily this morning. I listened to him on there, and his own personal podcast is also blowing up as well. He had Nate Cohn on to specifically talk about the polls, and the analysis is basically very similar to what I've been talking about in terms of like why this is so deadlocked. Any input on the Daily paywall announcement? Yeah, I saw that. I don't fully understand what's going on there. Are they just going to paywall all of their podcasts? Because if they are, I'm just not going to listen to them. And I'm too lazy to figure out a way to like steal it. So I don't know. You just have to stay up to date. The latest one will always be free. Oh, okay. Oh, just the archives. Yeah, I've never in my entire life been like, damn, I can't wait to go back and watch and listen to a fucking daily. So it's fine. Did you see the German conservative candidate for chancellor said migrants are bringing anti-Semitism to Germany? My country is pressure cooking again. Yeah, it's really funny. Maybe save for later. Harris leads Trump among voters in the vast middle of American society, 47-41. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking polls. One day we hear Harris is getting cleaned out. The other day we hear Harris is cooking. Okay. Status update. No status update on Ta-Nehisi Coates coming on the stream. I'm working on it, but we'll see. And there is no Mudang bathtub update, unfortunately. Helen Andrews, why Ta-Nehisi Coates hates Israel. That's great. Eric, yo, you just watched my TikTok a few minutes ago. I'm popping off 100% thanks to your OG support. Thank you so much. Hell yeah, Eric. Eric is one of the Hasanabi heads that's been popping the fuck off. We just watched his video earlier, as you know. I saw the moment TikTok served this man's video, I didn't even know he was a Hasanabi head. I saw the first GeoGuessr video. He had like 400 followers on TikTok. Right now, he's at like 23,000. Happened over literally virtually overnight, and it's directly a consequence of how good the videos are. It's killer stuff, Eric. I'm proud of you. You're killing it. She gets so racist in this article. I love that. Anyway, did you see all the stuff with the Irish peacekeepers in Lebanon? Yes, and the Italian ones too. Just FYI, TikTok's getting banned in January. Heard from a friend in Mark Warner's office. Anyway, let's continue. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. We have a lot to get to. Okay. Biden delivers remarks on the impact of Hurricane Milton. He says, "Are you kidding me?" And he tells Donald Trump to get a life. We're going to be talking about Hurricane Milton and its impact. Okay. And a shit ton more. Let's get started.
And that apparently is going very well as from the Coast Guard and from FEMA, we've received reports. We focus on what the American military can do like no one else can, provide emergency support for communities in need, and we're required by the governor in required by the governor in the affected states. And I've spoken to all the governors, not today all of them, but I've spoken to all of them thus far, and how we can be ready to go in an instant when the call comes. At my direction, the Defense Secretary Austin has provided a range of capabilities both to Florida for Hurricane Milton, as well as the states impacted by Hurricane Helene. And the more capabilities are available, we assess the pressing needs, we can get whatever they need. To the servicemen and women who are on the ground responding to these disasters, thank you. Thank you for your professionalism, your dedication to every mission you're given. You're repeating it again. This is a whole of government effort. It also includes the Department of Energy, Department of Transportation, Department of Health and Human Services, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which is providing mortgage relief for impacted homeowners. As directed, FEMA is going to open disaster recovery centers all across the impacted communities right away So there's one stop the residents can go to learn about the support they might need, and they'll be advertised where those places are. 3 million people are without power, but more than 40 million power line workers have come from around the country, from Canada to Florida, to restore power across the state.
Linemen and bucket bunnies alike. That's right. 40 million linemen, 80 million bucket bunnies. Entirety of the continental United States is in the state of Florida sucking and fucking. Hasan is so obsessed with bucket bunnies, Lamau. I'm sorry. It's something that my job here is to explain to you certain concepts that you might not have been privy to. Okay? This is one of those concepts. Trump retweeted jank? No fucking shot. There ain't no way. Trump doesn't ever retweet motherfuckers. He only retweets like Elon Musk and shit. It might have been like the Trump War Room or something. Oh, Trump Daily. Wait, on. Oh my God. He retruthed him. Oh my God. Oh my God. Unk. Oh no. Oh no, Unk. Unk. That's a real one. Oh no. I'm one step. Dude, once again. So close. So close to a Trump noti, okay? So close yet so far away from a Trump notice. I just want my favorite CC to notice me, okay? When your favorite CC notices you, oh my God, he wants me. 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 He just can't say it. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride, dude. You know what I mean? Damn, you're parasocial, Lamau. Yeah, that's my favorite CC, bro. Chill. I watch him every day. I have his merch. I literally, bro, look. What do you think? What do you think this is? CC is content creator. Is he your president bias? Yes. He is. I'm tier 3. He is my president bias for sure. Is he your hall pass? Yes. Hasan, I feel that you're making fun of us as chatters, lol. No, I would never. Trump is going to win. Trump, I could be right now in the most beautiful ocean on the sand, exposing my really beautiful body, so beautiful, to the sun and the surf, skin cancer, right? All over the world. Or I could be in Detroit with you. What is this? You saw this, right?
Okay, one thing about me is I was a bucket bunny, and I know you're gonna laugh, cause ha, ain't it funny? Now here come all the comments about how I want his money, oh honey. Well, now that I got your attention, I guess that I should mention all this lineman shit is dumb, and I'm not sure where it came from. Well, the real question is this, cause somehow everyone missed that people are dying, and no, I am not lying. Florida had a hurricane, and why is this the main topic of discussion when there were huge repercussions? So forget the bucket bunnies, although it's kind of funny, and pray for those who lost, cause it doesn't even cost. Instead of breeding hate, let's all advocate and get the power on. I mean, really, come on. I know you, babe.
Nah, she's making a convincing argument that the power should not be restored. Nah, this could have been avoided if you still had no internet in your area. You know what I'm saying? This is also making a convincing case for the flood taking you. You know, you got, on the one hand, you have storm surge that fucking washes you away and you die. Okay. On the other hand, you survive, but then you watch this clip. Who's to say which is the better outcome here? Aiding its heat, it clears mid-coal.
Babes are sick of this TikTok ick, and I don't know about
Still better than the KSI song? Okay, it's fair.
you, but I really miss good dick. So don't be acting crazy. You know these boys ain't lazy. They're busy climbing a pole. They don't have time to find a hole. And if they slip and fall in, just leave them for their kin. You'll be fine and dandy, cause baby, you is handy. Let this get you down.
You reacted to it?
And stop acting like a clown, cause queens don't stoop this low. You're his old lady and his hoe. And like I said before, you're classier than a whore. So I better not see this bucket bunny shit no more.
Oh, she's a line's wife, dude. She's not a bucket bunny. Yeah, she hashtag IBEV. She's a line wife. She's shitting on the bucket bunnies, dude. Finally, someone who understands the assignment and can carry a beat. I look for you all over Utah. Not gonna lie. You did so freaking good. Also, you're gorgeous. Gorgina. Lady. Little Miss MC Hammer Pants. She's not a bucket bunny. She's a line wife, dude. The wife of a lineman. Y'all didn't understand. She understood the assignment. Okay, we're done. The fuck am I doing? Get serious, Hasan. Hasan, get fucking serious.
In addition, the Federal Aviation has authorized Florida Power and Light to fly large drones before other manned aircraft can get up in the sky to quickly assess the damage on the ground so ground crews can restore power as quickly as possible. The Coast Guard and the Army Corps of Engineers are assessing how fast they can reopen the port of Tampa to get fuel, food, water, and other basic goods flowing into the area again and quickly. Additionally, Vice President Harris and I said yesterday, and we'll say it again, to anyone who seeks to take advantage of our fellow Americans' desperation, whether you're a company engaging in price gouging or a citizen trying to scam your neighbors, we will go after you and we will hold you accountable.
Good morning, Chad and Hasan. Here's your Milton update for today. As of 2 p.m. EDT, Milton is a post-tropical cyclone with winds of 75 miles per hour and a minimum pressure of 983 millibars. The storm is 200 miles east, northeast of Cape Canaveral, moving at 21 miles per hour. Milton fully crossed over the Florida Peninsula by 5 a.m. EST Thursday morning as a Category 1 hurricane with winds at 85 miles per hour, minimum pressure of 976 millibars. It remained a hurricane. As it did so, this was expected, but it's still pretty crazy. Tropical storm conditions and storm surge continue along portions of the U.S. southeast coast and extreme northwestern Bahamas. Storm surge warnings remains in effect for portions of the east coast of Florida and southern coast of Georgia. Storm surge inundation will continue in these areas through this afternoon. The risk of considerable urban flooding will linger through this afternoon. Across central East Florida, moderate to major river flooding is ongoing and forecast throughout central Florida. As of 11 a.m. EST, 3.4 million homes are without power, and more than 40 rescues have taken place in several counties. At least 9 people are confirmed killed, 4 after a tornado struck a senior community in St. Lucie, 3 in Volusia County, 2 in St. Petersburg. More casualties are expected. Rainfall from Milton ranged from 12.5 inches in Clearwater, Florida, to 18.5 in St. Petersburg. Wind gusts from Milton ranged from 96 miles per hour in Bradenton to 105 miles per hour near Tampa Bay. Parts of Fort Myers, Sarasota, Venice, Punta Gorda, and other Gulf cities were inundated with at least 10 feet of storm surge. The tornado also hit a police station. We saw that yesterday. A crane collapsed on a building in St. Petersburg. We saw that yesterday as well. Some boats washed ashore. Also on top of that, the top of the Tropicana Stadium was also cooked. Well, this link doesn't work. Venice, Florida reached peak storm surge. After the back wall, the storm hit them. To your question yesterday, it did get worse as a result of the dirty side of the hurricane hitting them. There was flash flooding in Metro Tampa last night after Milton dumped 8 to 14 inches of rain there. Milton dropped so much rain, more than 18 inches on St. Petersburg, that it represents a 1 in 1,000 year rainfall event for the area. Milton ripped off the roof of the MLB stadium that had been set up as a shelter for first responders, but was not actively being used at the time. As of 11:30 a.m. EST, Sarasota County is thought to be one of the worst impacted by Milton. The tornadoes that were spawned by Milton were a lot stronger and live much longer than the ones normally seen from hurricanes. The NWS issued over 100 tornado warnings. NOAA put out the video of their sail drone about 46 miles from the center of Milton. It reported wave heights of 28.12 feet, 8.5 meters, and wind gusts as strong as 75.95 miles per hour. Thank you. This link is not working. But yeah, you got some boats left over the waterfront from storm surge in Punta Gorda, Florida from Hurricane Milton. That's crazy. Wait, is this real? A guy was rescued? I don't know. Wait, what? Breaking. A U.S. Coast Guard Air Station Miami 65 helicopter rescued a man clinging onto a cooler approximately 30 miles off of Longboat Key. The man was taken to Tampa General Hospital for medical care. Sector St. Pete lost communications with the man approximately at 6:45 p.m. Wednesday. That is crazy. Do we know where Lieutenant Dan is? Yes. We have updates on Lieutenant Dan as well. Lieutenant Dan post hurricane update. He is very much alive. Boats float, coolers float. I was wrong.
We got the boat here. And Lieutenant Dan here. How'd it go? How'd the night go?
It was a little rough till about 11:30. I repositioned the boat, and I was heading into the wind, and I slept like a baby from 12:30 to 5 o'clock this morning. I woke up twice to pee, that was it. But other than that, I mean, it's been a great night. I just smoked half a joint. I'm high. I'm watching all the people run around like crazy because of all the water.
Wait, this was post Helene. This is not a good update. This is after Helene. But I'm pretty sure he, I think that's going to give nutters even more ammo to question government warnings. Oh, 100%. That's after Helene, not Milton. Some people are saying in the chat that Lieutenant Dan is a registered pedophile. This is the least shocking news that I have heard. Just the least shocking turn of events. What? Rick Owens' most famous quote about Hasanabi's hot take? What are you doing? I'm not watching that right now. Anderson Cooper got hit by flying debris. Yeah, we were there. We watched it. Turns out Lieutenant Dan is a fraud that started a GoFundMe 3 weeks ago, right before relocating to the worst area in Tampa Bay. He's also raised over 20K. Yeah, I know. I don't know if he was a diddler himself, but he does have a criminal record. He hit an EMS, I think, or a law enforcement officer. Don't know if it was an EMT or a law enforcement officer, but he hit a first responder with a fucking violin. I don't know if he's a pedophile or if he's a registered sex offender or not. But it would not shock me if he was. Why would it not shock me if he was? Because Lieutenant Dan is getting a kick deal. Turns out Adin Ross was like, oh, I'll give you 70 grand if you film yourself possibly dying in the storm. Well, he had an update to that. Okay. He had an update to that story. Yesterday we found out Adin Ross was like, no, I'm not actually going to give you money, 70 grand, if you film yourself. That was only for 2 of my friends, not you, to a kick streamer who was actually filming themselves. What is this? Adin Ross pulls Lieutenant Dan's kick deal and new boat after finding out Dan is allegedly a pedo and grifter. That was a quick switch up from Adin. We finally did it. We found one pedophile that Kick won't give a deal to. I thought he would have seen that and been like, oh yeah, that's great. Wow, he's a scammer. That's a bridge too far for me. Viral TikToker Lieutenant Dan survived Hurricane Milton in his 20-foot boat after refusing to evacuate. Now he's been offered a new $100,000 boat and a kick deal by Adin Ross. But it turns out Adin Ross also revoked the deal. Anyway, yeah. Don't call him a pedophile. We don't know that for sure. Yeah, no, I don't know. Lieutenant Dan's 14 mugshots go crazy. He's a generational menace. Guys, I think there's something really funny about looking at a dude like this and being like, wow, I can't believe he has a criminal background. Okay? Like, I can't believe this man has been in and out of prison. Also, just to be clear, most of these are failure to appear. This is the article they clipped out the name, so you can't see the first name is different, but also the age doesn't line up. Yeah, this is not, Lieutenant Dan is not, this isn't correct. Also, if he was on a 120-year term for raping a 10-year-old, obviously he would still be in prison and not on a fucking boat in Florida. Okay? Turns out he's 26 years old. Boat in Florida is the prison. Okay, that's not how that works, but I see where you're going with that. Yeah, he is not. This is a different registered sex offender with the same last name, but not even the same first name. So a lot of people got on that. I think Adin Ross should make good and give Lieutenant Dan the $100,000 and the new boat that he said he was going to give Lieutenant Dan. It's kind of fucked up that Adin Ross is just getting fake news over here. But here's an update from him.
Lieutenant Dan! Lieutenant Dan! Lieutenant Dan!
Try to light up a woman on fire, so it's still very problematic. Guys.
Are you okay? Are you okay? I'm fine. Are you sure? I think you made it through the worst of it.
Yeah, he made it through the worst of it. He got definitely lucky, by the way. Lieutenant Dan is upset after being told that Adin Ross and Kick are no longer going to give him a $100,000 boat and a kick deal after they found out about his history, which includes assaulting a woman and a police officer. Let's take a look.
What about Adin Ross telling you he not getting you a boat no more?
He came to me. I never went to him. He offered it to me. I never asked for it. So then he turned around and he started.
Dude, Florida is a magnet for grifters like this. So you know every dude with like a shit coin is trying to fucking go over there and give him clothes to wear with like dink donk coin or whatever the fuck they can find to be like, hey, Lieutenant Dan, put this shirt on.
Speaking about my history, well, you should have did that before you made the offer. You know, if you're worried about your image and who you have working for you, you should have done your due diligence and looked me up before you made me an offer of $100,000 sign-on bonus and $50,000 a month with a $100,000 boat. And I'm gonna let you go because I don't care about that. But I'm gonna tell you this.
He took the money away too?
Huh?
He took the 100K?
Took that, as far as I know, everything.
Oh, wow.
You know, and that's the thing. I mean, I didn't ask you for
Man, that's a whole lot of ketchup, dude. That's a lot of ketchup to just dump on that fucking scrambled eggs right there.
I agreed to do what you asked me to do. You asked me to be on Kick 100 hours a month. I agreed. I said, no problem. I'll do it. I'm down for that. We agreed, and then all of a sudden, next thing I see her and see on the internet is how you're disgusted with my history and that deal is done.
So what about your history that
Oh, never mind. It's a sandwich. Valid. I take it back. Valid.
disgust him so bad? Because we all got a history. Nobody closet clean.
I went to prison. I did jail time. But I had to tell you point blank, God to my soul, I'm innocent of all the charges. I was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer. He said I punched.
Ketchup on eggs is valid. No, I thought he was just raw dogging it with fucking omelets. One packet for a Sammy is valid. I take it back. You know, I've disrespected Lieutenant Dan quite a bit. I have. I said his boat won't float. I said he'll die. Okay. Who's the smart one? Who's the smart one? Just right now, right here. I disrespected him again. I said, Lieutenant Dan, that's too much ketchup. I was wrong. One packet of ketchup is so valid in a sandwich. You can put ketchup on eggs as long as it's in a sandwich format. And I didn't even realize that it was a sandwich style situation. It's because I'm judging a book by its cover. Once again.
In the nose. I never even saw the cop. He beat the hell out of me from behind. And then I went to prison for a year and a day on a battery on a Leo charge. And I never even saw him. But the thing is this.
So he didn't actually hit a fucking EMS. He hit a cop.
Karma and God are real. Because the bartender who started it all, the manager and the arresting officer were all the witnesses. While I went to prison for 5.5 months, the 44-year-old bartender had a massive heart attack.
To be fair to you, if Milton had not swung south of Tampa and hit Tampa directly, he would not have been able to ride that shit out. I know, but that's besides the point.
Back in his sleep and died.
Oh, my God.
The cop, who was a street cop.
You do not need to give a pedo his flowers. He's not. I mean, he might have. He might be, but he's not a registered sex offender. That's a different person.
That used to wear the sheriff thing across his chest and have the gun and the boots and you know the military. He's now behind a desk at the substation in Lake Worth. So that when you walk in, he's like, "How can I help you?" You know, tell me that ain't a demotion.
Right.
You know, and on top of that, he looks like he's got cancer.
Oh, my God.
And that ain't my fault. I didn't do nothing to you.
Right.
Karma bit you on the ass because you got on the stand and said, I punched you in the nose when you know damn well I didn't do it. Never even saw you.
That's crazy.
Mr. Joe makes me feel old. You just call me Jay.
Jay. So do you like that they call you Lieutenant Dan?
I don't care. I mean, I gotta rephrase that. Let me reword that. I do, but I don't. I do because it's what got me blown up the way I am.
Yeah.
But I'm not Dan. I'm not Lieutenant Dan. I'm not a lieutenant. I've never been in the military. Never claimed to be. And I don't want people to think that I don't want them to associate me being in the military because of this.
Yeah.
You know, they think
He's like, gross. I would never be in the military. He hates stolen valor. But more importantly, he's like, don't fucking say I'm in the military. How dare you?
I never claimed to be.
Are you happy about your GoFund hitting 30-something thousand though?
I'm free.
You supposed to be living your best life in Dubai. Or you are?
I'll be there.
It's just the beginning. I know that's right. Feel about Adin Ross telling you he not getting you a boat no more.
He came to me. I never went to him. He offered it to me. I never asked for it. So then he turns around and he starts seeing about my history. Well, you should have did that before you made the offer. You know, if you're worried about your...
Wait, his whole appeal to Chose with you's a vet missing a leg? I don't fucking know. I said this right after the clip where I reacted to Lieutenant Dan. I never said I was taking the offer /deal/boat away. The internet loves to make me look bad.
Feel about Adin Ross.
You lose again. He survived. I mean, I wanted him to survive. I didn't want him to fucking die. May have set a woman on fire, but don't you dare associate me with those dastardly Marine Corps. So wait, where is the setting a woman on fire coming from? Because like, how the fuck did he get out of prison if he just like lit a woman on fire? That's an insane thing that you guys are just saying. Bro crashed out with the golden ratio. Okay, bro, stop. Listen, in this house, we respect the veterans. And in my mind, he's still a vet. He's still a lieutenant. It's legal in Florida. He didn't light a woman on fire. He lit a park bench on fire. And the woman said he got gas on her. Oh, why was he lighting a park bench on fire? Joseph Malinowski, 54, so nicknamed for his resembles the double amputee sailor played by Gary Sinise in Forrest Gump. Racked up dozens of arrests in North Carolina and Florida dating back to at least 2006. Whoa! Another North Carolina, Florida arrested. Another North Carolina to Florida felon, just like our boy Ryan Ruth. Also not a military veteran, but also with connections to other military veterans. It also appears he's not even from the Tampa area. His most recent busts were in South Florida. Malinowski was featured on the Weather Channel, CNN, and on a live stream with TikToker Tampa Terrence Concannon, who nearly has 500,000 followers. Concannon set up a GoFundMe to raise money for Malinowski to buy a larger vessel, which as of now has $8,000, calling him the kindest soul who's always ready to lend a hand. Many of the charges of traffic offenses are arrest for failure to appear in court, but he's also been busted for everything from drug possession to attempted breaking and entering to aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. He even has an open criminal case out of Tampa. In May 2021, Malinowski was arrested for allegedly refusing a manager's request to leave the Broges Down Under bar in Lake Worth, Florida, after causing a disturbance by screaming and smashing glasses. As a responding Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy was intending to handcuff him, Malinowski became aggressive and punched him on the nose, according to an arrest report. The deputy punched him back to subdue the rowdy skipper, who received a laceration on his face from broken glass on the floor of the bar. Free my man, he innocent. He was charged with battery against a law enforcement officer and pleaded not guilty, but served a year in jail after being convicted by a jury. Yeah, this guy's track record, his criminal record, his criminal background is unironically not as bad as like the average Floridian, you know? A more recent and disturbing incident came last February when a woman reported she had gotten in an argument with Malinowski, who had been sitting on a concrete bench at Lake Fort Worth Beach. During the argument, Malinowski allegedly approached the woman and poured gasoline on the bench directly next to where she was sitting and set it alight. The argument continued to escalate, and the woman, smoking a cigarette at the time, said Malinowski then splashed her with gas in an attempt to light her on fire. She called 911 fearing for her life and grabbed Malinowski's crutches to prevent him from using them as weapons. Bro, Florida is not a real place. Like, this is, I swear to God, this story right here is just like, that's an insane thing that happens every day in Florida, it seems. Okay? It's just, it is a GTA PvP server, dude. Not even RP, just straight. Mainline. Grand Theft Auto online lobby, dude. What the fuck is happening? She grabbed Malinowski's crutches to prevent him from using them as weapons or escape before help could arrive, records allege. Malinowski used his crutches to help him get around after his left leg was amputated above the knee following a scooter accident nearly 40 years ago. What the fuck? A scooter accident? Bro, how the fuck did you get into such a severe scooter accident that you had to get amputated? How is that even possible? What? Everything I find out about this man, it makes me more interested. You ever get hit in the shin by a scooter, bro? Yeah, it just lobbed his fucking leg clean off. He was arrested for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, but the case was dropped a month later for reasons that were not explained and could not be immediately determined. His credentials as a responsible sailor are also shaky at best. This is such a funny action shot. Malinowski allegedly attempted to set a woman on fire last year after getting in an argument. He was cleared. Fuck you mean? Last March, Malinowski was charged for abandoning a derelict 26-foot sailboat called the Rowan Einish, which was discovered on its side and submerged against the seawall in Lantana, South Florida, according to court documents. Chat, suck my dick. Mr. Boats Float, Mr. Boats Float. Dude, this guy has a history, okay? This guy has a history of capsizing shit. However, prosecutors later declined to pursue the case in court due to terms of a plea deal. As Hurricane Milton was bearing down Florida, Malinowski became internet famous for stubbornly refusing to evacuate his vessel. I know the mayor of Tampa just said in her press conference that Lieutenant Dan went to a shelter. He didn't. I'm standing right here, said News Nation correspondent Brian Enton. Lightning doesn't strike twice. His second boat won't sink. Yeah. He was in a One Bite Pizza review
I know it's
too.
rookie 8.0. This garlic bread they had looked divine. The guy didn't really understand what I was saying. Like, does it take long? But garlic bread's their thing. Cheesy bread. I don't generally love having the garlic bread with all the cheese on it, but I love garlic bread.
Where is he in the fucking video? Oh, that's not him, bro. Y'all are fucking so dumb. Jesus Christ, dude. That's a painter guy with no hands who died. Anyway. Yeah, that guy has no arms, chatter. This guy doesn't have one leg. Anyway, let's move on from Lieutenant Dan. I just wanted to give you all the updates on him. I know a lot of people were worried. Joe Biden's silence on Lieutenant Dan's latest is deafening for sure. Like in a press conference talking about Hurricane Milton, my expectation is that the commander-in-chief is obviously going to talk about one of the most well-decorated, celebrated veterans. But here he is once again refusing to mention him. Kind of fucked up. I was waiting for the Lieutenant Dan mention, like a status update from the king of NATO himself, but he does not care. He does not care about our veterans. Like, he does not. It's obvious to me.
Now, not only that, our fellow Americans are putting their lives on the line to do this dangerous work and receive death penalties. Some received death penalties yesterday as a result of reckless, irresponsible, relentless disinformation and outright lies that continue to flow. Those who engage in such lies are undermining confidence in the rescue and recovery work that's opening and ongoing. As I speak, they're continuing. These lies are also harmful to those who most need help. Lives are on the...
Every time he speaks, I'm reminded of this hilarious attitude that the Democrats close to him had, that this man was going to not only make it to November, win the election, but also do 4 more years as the president.
Line. People are in desperate situations. Have the decency to tell them the truth. So let me say this. To all the people impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton, despite...
Never forget, in the full court press to show that Brandon still got it, never forget that his wife, Jill Biden's book, had a passage about how hard Joe Biden was fucking her. And this was like their way of saying Biden still got it, aside from how great he is and how sharp he is in meetings that we simply never see. He also was having hardcore sex with his wife still. That's a real thing that happened. I'm not making it up. It sounds like I'm making it up, but I'm not. Stop. No, it didn't. Okay, dude. Joe Dynamo. Here. Biden, 81, says the key to his marriage is good sex. How Joe infuriates Jill, his wife of 47 years, with very risque joke to staff about their private life. Joe Biden said good sex is key to long-lasting marriage. Book on U.S. First Lady's claims.
Misinformation and lies. The truth is, we're providing the resources needed to rescue, recover, and rebuild.
Fundamentally different than what you said? Wait, what do you mean? No, dude, he's laying his shit down. He's got a thick 8. Back walls being blown out.
Let me close with this. I know recovery and rebuilding projects can take a long and difficult time.
Any opinion on John Aziz? He's a PA peace activist. Isn't that the fucking poet guy who's like pro-Israel as a Palestinian? Isn't that him? Or am I mistaking him for someone else? I think he's one of those guys, right?
As long after the press and the cameras move on, I promise you, you have to pick up the pieces still. I want you to know we'll do everything in our power to help you put pieces back together. Get all that you need. God bless you, and may God bless our troops and our first responders who are in some cases risking their lives to help. Thank you very much. I'll be reporting it again tomorrow. Thank you.
Mr. President, on FEMA funding, how much time does Congress have to act before FEMA or the SBA run out of money?
That's in discussion now, but I don't want to mislead you. I think in terms of the SBA, it's pretty right at the edge right now. And I think the Congress should be coming back and moving on the emergency needs immediately. And they're going to have to come back after the election as well, because this is going to be a long haul for total rebuilding. It's going to take several $1 billion. It's not going to be a matter of just a little bit. But we're providing now to make sure people have the emergency relief they need. the dollars just to be able to get a prescription filled, to get a baby formula done. All the things, that $750 that they're talking about, but Mr. Trump and all those other people know it's a lie to suggest that's all they're going to get. That's bizarre. It's bizarre. They got to stop this. I mean, they're being so damn un-American with the way they're talking about this stuff. But there's going to be a need for significant amounts of money. We're already underway of trying to calculate what the cost will be because we don't want to mislead anybody. We want to make sure all the costs are able to be covered.
Have you spoken to Speaker Johnson about coming back before the election to vote?
No, I haven't.
Mr. President, so are you calling on Congress to come back early?
I think Congress should move as rapidly as they can, particularly on the most immediate need, which is small business.
Congress should move immediately. Israel.
That FEMA has what it needs. There's enough resources. That Congress does not need to come back, right?
FEMA has its needs. That's different than...
Out of all living presidents, who would you hypothesize has the most substantial schmeat? Biden. I think, judging by the dick meat of Hunter Biden and also Biden's brother, both of his dick meats we have seen, I would suspect that he probably has the longest... No, he said living presidents, chat. No, living presidents. Living presidents. Living. Okay, a lot of people still repeating LBJ. Living. Is Ihab Hassan good? Well, pro-Israel, I wouldn't say. Yeah, no, John Aziz absolutely is. If he's the one I'm thinking of, if he's the poet guy, he is absolutely pro-Israel. LBJ did have a fat hog for sure. Like, he was known to have a fat hog. Like, also known to whip it out. I mean, this long Carter gotta be packing. I don't know. They called him Jumbo, dude. He named it. Ihab Hassan. I don't know who Ihab Hassan is. I don't even know who that is. But judging by what you said about John Aziz, I'm going to go ahead and assume he might also be not great, but maybe he is. I don't know. I don't know who he is. Palestinian Christian, human rights activist, human rights master student at Catholic University. Ihab Hassan might be a little bit better. I don't know. Ihab Hassan is a liberal Zionist at best. Why am I fucking doing this? Why am I looking at these like random fucking influencers this person is bringing up? Sometimes I just like get in this rabbit hole and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be listening to chat as much as I do. You know what I mean? But to be fair, we were talking about dick meat.
It's SBA.
Okay, so it's SBA. They need to come back.
We like them. The peace activists. Green Circle guy. I retweet them often, wondering if they're actually doing the work. We like them, the peace activists. Dog, you started off with John Aziz, okay? Like, you're being duped.
Yeah, but they're going to need a lot more.
Mr. President, what did Prime Minister Netanyahu tell you about his plans relating to retaliation?
He's coming over to help with the storm.
Mr. President, have you spoken before President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, coming over to help with the storm.
Mr. President, have you spoken before President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Damn, he told him off, dude. I'm not gonna lie, he's lost the sauce a little bit more than usual. Normally, even in all of that chaos and confusion in his mind, he usually has like one moment where he'll be like, "You're fat," more like President Fat, and then walk away. It wasn't that good. Get a life.
Let's get right to Florida. Let's take a look at the scene in Clearwater, Florida this morning. Just moments ago, the rescue efforts underway after Hurricane Milton hit. It hit hard. We're learning a lot more this morning.
George, they are getting pummeled. It made landfall as a major Category 3 storm in Siesta Key. Heavy rain from Milton sparked flash flood emergencies for a Tampa Bay area, and the powerful winds brought down this crane. Your
Gator jump scare.
Right, that was really deep right there. Sorry.
Damn, bro, that's some pit bull shit right there. That's crazy. That is crazy, dude. Only time I've ever seen someone snap at a fucking car like that is that famous video, the Ring camera footage of the two pit bulls eating a car. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're just like eating the tire. They thought it was a Kong toy, dude. Grand pumpkin spice latte pizza. I'm not gonna lie, this is like Probably not that bad.
It's
Oh,
the
here.
dead of night, and two pit bulls are attacking a car. In fact, they're taking it apart. Surrounding the vehicle from both sides, the pit bulls ferociously go at the Honda, piece by piece. Fenders and other car parts fly into the driveway in Jacksonville, Florida. The owner of the SUV,
That's awesome.
Christy Barr, couldn't believe it when she saw the damage the following morning.
That's amazing, dog. Come on, brother. That shit is fire.
Then she looked at her Ring surveillance footage.
On the video, you could see both of them tugging on it, and they were tugging so hard that my car moved.
It's unclear if the dogs are strays or not. The damage to the SUV, almost $3,000.
It's unclear if they're strays or not. Bro, that's a weapon, okay? First of all, America, you rarely ever get strays, but that's like a crazy fucking dog to just... That is not a good dog, okay? That is not a good boy nor a good girl. Let's be real.
So, what's got the dogs in such a frenzy?
Nah, with the clipped ears and everything, there's no way. These are one of those like special made pit bulls, okay? They make them in a lab.
This little guy, the neighborhood cat. There's the frisky feline just before the attack. She actually hid in the engine during the ambush and escaped unharmed.
Nobody believed me until they saw it on tape. It was just bizarre. Nobody believed that dogs would do that.
That's amazing. My dog has attacked my car to get rid of rats. I love that bastard. My mom loves watching Inside Edition. Now she's too scared to talk to strangers, and thinks her doctor is going to secretly give her the COVID vaccine. That's a healthy attitude to have, I think, about medicine. Cat in the car, dogs validated. They went full IDF. Yeah, it is the cat's fault, I think. I'm glad that this community understands who is truly responsible in every scenario involving a cat. I bet that there was a cat in the car that the crocodile was, the alligator was attacking as well. Victim blaming? I don't know about that, man. Seems to me like the cat shouldn't have been there.
Looking at insane.
Update on the house that was strapped down for the hurricane. Update. Got word from Pedro Caceres' family in Orlando. All is well. Home held up. Pedro Caceres' approach to Milton Prep got a lot of attention. CNN's Brian Abel spoke to him before the storm.
Straps and hooks. Pedro Caceres showing us his unconventional approach to keeping his Orlando home intact through Hurricane Milton.
Preparing my house for the hurricane. Right now, as you can see, the hooks on the floor, they're 8 feet deep of cement. They have rods in between, and it's to hold the friction of the roof from lifting.
His daughter explains the unique idea was born from experience more than 2 decades ago while Pedro and his family lived in Puerto Rico.
We had a hurricane that we went through, and the back of our roof lifted a little bit. It was aluminum.
Now, roughly $2,000 in for the cement, anchors, and made-to-order straps from Idaho that cover the front, back, and sides of the home.
They hold about 5,400 pounds of weight and wind, so yeah, we're giving it a test.
They're hoping it's enough to withstand Milton.
Definitely just stay tuned for the aftermath. We shall see.
In Orlando, Brian Abel reporting.
That's amazing. I do love that, like, most of these houses withstood the storm specifically because the hurricane was like Cat 1 by the time it reached their neighborhood. And you can notice that, like, all of the other houses in the neighborhood are perfectly fine. Like, it's not like all the other houses blew away and this guy's house survived it. You know what I mean? Like, look at the other houses. They're fine as well. But it's cool. No, this is not beforehand. This is an update. The video was beforehand. This is the update. As of 11:20 a.m. Thursday, got word from Pedro Caceres and the family in Orlando. All is well. Home held up. It reminds me of the old adage of like elephant spray in the middle of a city. You know? Can't say it doesn't work. I ain't seen no elephants around, you know? You can't tell me elephant spray doesn't work. Anti-elephant spray. Do you see any elephants around? No. There you go. Must be working. This must be a Turkish thing. I live in Florida. My house flooded because I wasn't served the top of the hour ad break. Oh my God. How did I get baited by that? It's because I always like to hear personal stories from Floridian chatters, and this is what I get. My mistake. Never will I repeat this ever again. This chatter just used and abused my good nature in wanting to bring a voice to the Floridian chatters that that may have been impacted by the fucking hurricane. 15.4 ounces today. A little lighter on the chicken today, boys. Couldn't make it a pound. Anyway, chatter is correct. At the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can, of course, do with a $6 a month subscription or a free one in the form of a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you will get one free Prime subscription a month. You can use your FEMA bucks as well to gift others a gifted sub. It's like how it is. Shitty. Have you seen the Chinese equivalent of Florida? Yes, I have.
Tianjin City is known as China's
Yeah, Tianjin City. Here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Florida. In this city, you'll see random things on the street like a man riding an ostrich, bike rider with a guandao, and cars slide up in a way so the drivers can see what's causing the congestion. If you call a Didi, which is China's Uber, you'll see the driver surrounded by 6 cell phones all playing different games, cages of grasshoppers, and a tea set complete with cups, pots, and a Buddha head. Don't attempt to talk to the driver, because in Tianjin there are signs warning, don't drive and joke. It will endanger your safety. A Tianjin resident explained, our city is the only one in the whole country where the government officially bans joking in the car. A visitor is surprised to find shared bikes all parked upside down. A local explained they are just trying to occupy a parking space. Edison scanned the QR code on this scooter and thought it was a shared vehicle. They didn't realize it belonged to the police until they rode it home. Another joked, isn't this a shared cop car? This lingerie store is called 老姑的秘密, literally old auntie's secret, playing off American brand Victoria's Secret. You'll see advertisements for men's health hospitals everywhere, such as on cell phone holders, subway TV screens, and the package of disposable masks. Another joked, congrats on finding Tianjin's specialty. Someone replied, how are we going to live now you have exposed our secrets on Douyin? A girl from another province asked, do Tianjin boys have trouble getting it up? Someone shared, I once dated a Tianjin boy for 3 months, and all we did was hold hands. I thought he was being a gentleman, but now I know why.
I love Chinese netizens. Let's get back to it.
St. Petersburg right onto a building.
And this storm that has been felt across the entire state. A swarm of twisters also tore through. At least 36 reported. We're going to take a look at Wellington, which is on Florida's east coast, and get just a glimpse of the tornado damage there.
Some of the tornadoes have turned deadly. We're still gathering all the information as dawn breaks there in Florida. 3 million people without power, nearly 2,000 flights canceled. We have teams in place all over the region. We begin with World News Tonight anchor David Muir in Tampa. Good morning, David.
Good morning, George. And as you rightly...
Dude, you gotta stop. Like, go read the news, Sheltered Rosebud. I banned you for a day, and you came back, and immediately you're on your shit. That's crazy. I banned you for an hour, and you're back to your old bullshit. Please stop.
Point out that is the image of the morning. The search and rescue teams now going out, beginning their work. The hard work now begins with daybreak here as we get a portrait of the damage, the destruction from Hurricane Milton, which came crashing ashore last night. A Category 3 hurricane winds more than 100 miles per hour, and the force of this, as you saw there, the crane crashing onto a building, the roof ripped right off of Tropicana Field. More than 3 million people this morning without power.
Overnight, a ferocious Hurricane Milton making landfall along the west coast of Florida, slamming ashore in Sarasota County late last night as a Category 3. Powerful winds up to 120 miles per hour, uprooting trees, knocking over light poles and power lines. Watch as this transformer explodes, sending sparks flying. More than 3 million people are without power here in Florida this morning. That major storm surge so many feared, barreling down the streets of Sarasota.
It was insane. Nothing like I've ever seen before.
Parts of Venice, Florida, turning into an extension of the sea. Boats in this marina rocking precariously against the violent wind gusts. Floodwaters rising inside this home. In St. Petersburg, the strong winds causing this crane to collapse onto a building. Bricks from that structure and a mangled piece of the crane lying across the street. The violent 101-mile-per-hour wind gusts also ripping off part of the roof of the Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. The inside of the field could be seen against the night sky. It was originally meant to be the staging area for hundreds of National Guardsmen before the storm. Those guardsmen moving inland before Milton made landfall, the storm ripping the panels off that roof. Bands of wind and rain ripping into Tampa overnight.
This is bad. I've never seen, for all 37 years being in Tampa, I've never seen like this something.
We were live on the air here in Tampa as Milton roared in.
I can tell you the winds have been extraordinary here. The rain coming in sideways. You can see it blowing here behind us.
In Fort Myers, waves crashing above the storm walls. Officials saying around 31,000 people are staying in the nearly 150 shelters across the region. Bradenton's mayor had given dire advice for those waiting out the storm in their homes.
Write your name on your arm so we can identify you. We're all talking the same way.
The wind is just whipping. The rain is just constant. It's the water coming in through the windows. You know, the doors are rattling. It's getting pretty rough out there.
Dr. Megan Martin, sheltering and working at a hospital in St. Petersburg, expecting daybreak will bring more people in need.
As soon as the weather gets better, we will start to see patients really start to pick up. We'll start to see people with falls, with lacerations, with bruises, with broken bones, people moving things around, stepping on nails, just with all of the debris and people trying to help, you know, fix their homes up.
We got a tornado in front of us. This hurricane causing havoc well before it made landfall, spawning at least 36 reported tornadoes across southern Florida. Saildrome.
That's insane, bro. That is, I mean, that's crazy. Like this on top of the sinkholes, like, please just evacuate Florida completely, you know? A lesson I'm learning from the photos out of these intense tornadoes across Florida is that nobody's surprised houses built to a robust wind code survive, even in the face of 120 to 130 miles per hour winds. No, the rich guy did not get fucking smoked by the tornado.
The Gulf of Mexico measuring waves more than 28 feet as Milton barreled toward the coast. Hurricane hunters from NOAA flying into the eye of the hurricane before it descended upon the state, telling me they've never seen anything like this before.
I know you've flown through several hurricanes now over the course of many years. How do you compare this one?
This is the craziest storm that I've ever flown inside of, hands down. Multiple missions in a row with the worst turbulence I've ever seen, the most lightning, the deepest convection, and just the breadth of the storm, the reach it has is incredible, as well as the power behind it.
This morning, officials here who were prepared are now focused on the search and rescue and recovery ahead.
That is certainly where the efforts here turn next. You know, one of the things that Ginger had told us to be prepared for before this hurricane were the chance of tornadoes, and we saw that here across the region. As I mentioned there, 36 reported tornadoes. That number is expected to grow. It's believed they have been deadly, but we saw images of these tornadoes ripping through neighborhoods, everything suddenly turning dark. This was even before the hurricane hit. One tornado scene ripping right across I-75. Just a short time ago, the mayor of Tampa here urging everyone to stay inside. Those who did stay here to ride out the hurricane, she asked that they do not leave their homes, do not venture out into your neighborhoods until authorities can go through and survey the damage to make sure those power lines aren't a real danger to the people here. But overall, when you see the images of all of the people who are in those shelters, Michael, it shows that they took this hurricane very seriously, particularly because it came just days after Hurricane Helene here.
Yeah, they should have, David, and glad that they did. Thank you so much for that.
We're all thinking about everyone in Florida this morning after Hurricane Milton slammed.
How'd that lieutenant guy survive on his boat? It didn't hit his area. It was slated to hit Tampa, but it didn't. So he got lucky. Floridians do not care. I mean, this is part of the reason why, for the record. The reason why they do not care is because, like, if you survive, you get survivor's bias. And they're like, yeah, fuck it. I'm too lazy. Sometimes people are, don't have a lot of money. Like, the media obviously wants to be protective. It's like COVID, dude. It's the same principle behind COVID. The media responds to what the scientists are saying. And if the scientists are saying, like, this literally came out of fucking nowhere, this is unprecedented, this is terrifying, obviously, everyone has to prepare for the worst case scenario. It's the smart thing to do. If you are in an evacuation zone, a mandatory evacuation zone, yeah, you should fucking evacuate. It doesn't matter if it's weaker than expected. You know what I mean? I guess that's the difference between someone like myself and many of these people. Like, I just don't, I don't know. I don't fuck around with that. Call me a sheep all you want, but I think the smart thing to do is listen to scientists. They might be overprotective in certain instances, but it's significantly better to listen to their fucking warnings. It's significantly better and smarter in terms of self-preservation to listen to their warnings and then have it be not as bad than it is to not listen to their warnings and then have their predictions come true. You know, I just don't understand it.
To shore last night as a Category 3 and swept across the state with incredible force. Here's the path so far.
I don't live in Florida, but if I did, I probably wouldn't have evacuated either. As a poor person, I have far greater worries than dying in a hurricane. I have rent to pay. I have people relying on me. Do you think my landlord or loan company will understand if I take a bunch of time off to go evacuate? So I do get it. Yeah, because the alternative is you die. And when you die, the people that you have relying on you are also no longer going to be able to rely on you. That is like peak American brain, though. It's like, dude, how am I going to pay fucking... It's not even peak American brain. It's just like peak capitalism brain, where it's like, well, you know, how am I going to pay rent if I'm... like, you're not going to have to worry about rent if you die, you know?
It is now weakened, but conditions are still extremely dangerous. So please remember that. We're only just starting to learn about the full scale of this destruction. We've got a team of correspondents all across the state right now. Vlad Dutier is leading our coverage, and he's in Tampa. Vlad, good morning to you. What can you tell us about the situation there?
Good morning, Gail. The eye of the hurricane, Milton, has now moved into the Atlantic, and things in this area have calmed down within the past couple of hours. But folks across the state are still feeling the impact, with more than 3 million people waking up without power. Here in Tampa, hurricane-force winds and extreme rainfall battered the city overnight, but Tampa did escape the most dire storm surge predictions. In fact, as Milton made landfall south of here in Siesta Key, water was actually sucked out of Tampa Bay. The story around here, though, was the wind. Take a look at this. A crane collapsed onto a 46-story building in St. Petersburg, which is home to the offices of the Tampa Bay Times newspaper. Further south, toward the center of the path in Venice, Florida, the storm surge turned streets into raging rivers overnight. It also sparked a house fire, which you can see here, which burned a home down to its frame. But the destruction started hours before landfall, with an outbreak of tornadoes and some of them deadly. Part of a terrifying day and night here in western Florida.
Hurricane Milton slammed into Florida's west coast Wednesday night. It made landfall in Siesta Key as a Category 3 storm with maximum sustained winds of 120 miles per hour, snapping trees, ripping roofs, and siding off homes. As the system barreled east, dangerous storm surge and flooding tore through the streets of Sarasota, pushing debris and this dumpster down the road.
At this point, it's too dangerous to evacuate safely, so you have to shelter in place and just hunker down.
Nearby in Venice, the powerful winds fueled this house fire, quickly spreading its flames.
Unpopular opinion, but I think the media hype for this storm is because we're all still recovering from Helena. I am proud that somebody went to shelters, though. That really helps the first responders. Exactly. Dude, that is what it is. It's like when you stay behind, if you're in a mandatory evac zone, like, you're making it harder for people to fucking recover and do relief efforts. Like, PSA for those in chat impacted by both storms, make sure you contact your phone internet providers. I just called mine. They gave me credits off my bills for this month. Make sure you take advantage of that, especially if you're dealing with costly damages.
In St. Petersburg.
Yeah, for the record, the scientist, this is so similar to COVID, dude. Okay? Because the scientists also said that there's a capacity for the storm to hit south, okay, or go north. If it goes north, 2,000 people dead. If it goes south, then the worst impact will be avoided. And that's precisely what happened. The storm went further south than expected, than its expected trajectory. And that's literally the reason why, like, Lieutenant Dan survived, for example. If that storm had directly hit Tampa, he would not have fucking survived. Everyone on the island I live on gets out when it's Florence or worse level because we don't want to add to the first responder workload. Yeah, I live on an island off the southeast coast of North Carolina. Only dumbasses stay when it's a Mando evac. It does not happen often, but when it does, you doesn't matter if it ends up not as bad as saying stupid as hell. Everyone around these parts knows if they stay, they just don't care about life anymore. Yeah. So it's worth noting a more direct path through the bay would have been a worse outcome. Yeah. Cat Turd doesn't understand how wind speeds change. I'll never listen to the Weather Channel again. These guys are so stupid, bro. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I can't even tell if these guys, they're like faking it for attention and clout, or if they're genuinely this fucking stupid. I guess in the case of Cat Turd, it's a bit of both. But like, I don't know, man. There's no salvaging this country. Like, it's over, you know? Reset it. Find a new fucking project at this point. Like, the dumbest statements get celebrated so much. It makes no sense. Why did he swap the O's for zeros by the end of it? And he said miles per gallon.
Hurricane force wind ripped the fabric roof off Tropicana Field, home of the Tampa Bay Rays. That's also where thousands of cots were set up to house first responders. No injuries were reported. More than 18 inches of rain fell in the city, a more than 1 in 1,000-year rainfall event for St. Petersburg. In nearby Tampa, police rescued 15 people after a tree fell on their home. Everyone, including children, were safely brought to a nearby shelter.
Oh, violent tornado, violent.
Before making landfall, Hurricane Milton's outer band spawned at least 20 confirmed tornadoes across Florida, destroying at least 125 homes, completely crushing a facility holding patrol cars at the county sheriff's office headquarters, and killing multiple people in a senior community.
A Florida resident for 30 years, so I'm used to hurricanes, but not tornadoes.
John Carafa, a Fort Pierce resident, says a dumpster smashed into his garage door while he was hunkering down in his house.
We started feeling debris fall on our head in the master bedroom closet, and my wife actually grabbed my hand and said, "I love you, goodbye."
Some of the worst damage happened long before Hurricane Milton made landfall. The storm is blamed for at least 20 tornadoes across Florida. One of them caused heavy damage and, unfortunately, some deaths in Fort Pierce on the Atlantic coast, more than 100 miles from the hurricane zone. Morgan Reiner from CBS News Miami is at a retirement community where multiple people were killed. Morgan, good morning.
Good morning, and I cannot believe I am starting this right now with some happy news. Look at this pile of debris right over here to my left-hand side. About 2 seconds ago, we just pulled out this little tiny dog named Benji, who has been missing now since last night. His owners were actually in that mobile home right back there. That's where they lived. This right here, this step was what was supposed to lead up to their front door, and you can see that that home was just blown away. And panning around here is just one story like this after another. The destruction, you can't even describe it. If I had all the time in the world, I would walk you down this block where you would see one home like this after another. Unfortunately, though, I can tell you the reason why Benji ran away and was found in the debris next door is because his owners, unfortunately, are among the victims. You know, I spoke to others who rode out the storm in this area. They described the debris, their homes just shattered to pieces. They said that after the first tornado, the damage wasn't that bad. And the people that I spoke to, they actually ran to their neighbor's house, who's actually standing right over here. His home was better prepared to handle a tornado. He had hurricane-proof windows. He had shutters.
She's like, good news, I have a new dog. Bad news, the former owners of the dog are dead behind me.
Up, and so they ran there, thankfully, because after the second tornado hit, that's when the side of their home was just ripped to pieces, almost like the one right over there where you can see that roof was blown off. Now take a look at this video. Law enforcement officials said emergency crews are going to go door to door at what's left of the retirement community of Spanish Lakes Country Club Village to conduct search and rescue operations. More than 100 people are looking for anyone who may be trapped, some of them who were living in mobile homes, you see. The sheriff said multiple people did unfortunately die, but at this hour, it's not confirmed exactly how many. And nearby, another tornado tore through the area. You can see parts of trees and other debris flying through the air. Moments later, a semi-truck is seen on its side across the road. Now here, you can see cars flipped upside down and the roofs of several Fort Pierce homes ripped to shreds. Something else I do want to point out to you as well, if my photographer can follow me over here. Along the side of the homes, you'll see that there are X marks. The X mark is actually on the front of this home, so we don't have to walk all the way to the front. But there are X marks at the homes all across this community. And that's because we have watched as the sheriff's deputies have gone around this community, marking each home to make sure that there's no one else in distress. I can tell you right now that Benji does look pretty injured. So as soon as we hop off of this live shot, we are going to try and get Benji some help. For now, Nate, we are in Fort Pierce.
Morgan, thank you.
Yeah, Morgan, our job here on a day like this is to just convey through the lens of the camera the experience that people are having on the ground there, the experience of that animal, of the families, of those homeowners. I don't know if Morgan's still with us. Morgan.
That's Double Cirque Tony. Double Cirque Tony. It's just, he's ruined, okay? His Ta-Nehisi Coates interview ruined me. I can never, especially because he's like the main anchor for CBS Mornings. We see him all the time. And I will never not think about how his dick is double snipped. Mr. Shave a little bit off the top, please. The two-time. The it's Mr. Double Cirque himself. It's just not a thing that I will ever be able to not think about. It still doesn't sound real. I know, but it is. You bring this up every time. I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? If the most vanilla ass fucking anchor that we normally see on a regular basis was this like raging ultra Zionist who also literally wrote an article describing the events that took place as he got an adult circumcision, even though he had gotten a circumcision prior to birth. That's something that I will never forget. Like, it's just not a thing that I'll ever be able to cast aside. Tony's about to be like, it's devastating to see the destruction from this hurricane. And of course, at a time like this, our hearts go out to all the Israelis fighting their righteous battle. Yeah. He's like, all this death and destruction reminds me of the death and destruction that might happen to Israel if Israel wasn't doing heinous acts that I consider to be morally perfectly fine.
Morgan, can you hear us? It was an incredible report that really brings home the destruction there.
I am still with you. A neighbor is taking Benji from me.
I'm so glad to I'm so glad to see that. You know, when we were in commercial break, we could hear your audio.
Yeah, something else I should probably.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to point out that I think a lot of people, when they're watching this, they're questioning. This is a mobile home park. You know, why did people sit out the storm in a mobile home park? And, you know, to their credit, the storm did hit the other coast of Florida. So they weren't as concerned as those over there. The other thing was they weren't as concerned as tornadoes. Tornadoes aren't top of mind here. And another concern for residents in this area now is insurance, because insurance companies don't often like to cover mobile homes. Wow. That one woman I described to you earlier who ran to her neighbor's house between tornadoes, she said that she got an astronomically high insurance quote that wouldn't have made sense for her. Another reason why she didn't evacuate, because they didn't have the finances. So that is what they're dealing with right now, is how they're going to recover from all this.
Well, Morgan, our job is to convey the intensity of the experience, and you've done that incredibly well. Please keep us posted on Benji, if he's okay, and we're so sorry to hear about his owners and to see that neighborhood there. Thank you very much.
Back here in Tampa, the city did avoid a direct hit, but folks, there is still destruction on a massive scale, and hundreds of thousands of people are without power in this area. Jonathan Vigliotti is just across the bay in St. Petersburg. Jonathan, good morning. What are you seeing?
And good morning to you, Vlad. This was primarily a wind-driven event. We're talking wind gusts reaching nearly 100 miles per hour. We're here on the scene of that crane crash that you mentioned. I want to show you what it looks like here. Pieces of it strewn across the street. It was being used for construction on a nearby condo when it came crashing in the Tampa Bay Times building. I don't know if you can make it out, but the top 3 stories, it looks like, were completely destroyed. You now have the sheriff's department here closing off this road. About a mile from where we are is the Tropicana Stadium that you also mentioned. We passed it as we were driving here. It was being used to shelter thousands of first responders. Now questions about why it was chosen, because that roof was made of what appeared to be some kind of fabric material reinforced by carbon fiber. We literally saw pieces of it blanketing the highway, almost like blankets or clothing, bed sheets, if you will. The area here, Pinellas County, is now under orders for.
Yeah, it's because it's Florida, dog. That's the answer. It's because it's Florida. Straight up. That's it. A lot of the questions that you might be having about the impact and the devastation in this state will be answered with one very simple answer. It's fucking Florida. Florida is peak deregulation of housing. Okay? That is what happens when there are even less housing regulations than many other parts of the country. The worst part about this conversation is that it always brings up some of the more annoying chatters into the fray, where they will say, Hasan, oh, you want single family house zoning. That's not the regulation that I'm talking about. Okay? There's obviously good regulation, and then there's regulation created specifically to make sure that the housing supply is limited in an effort to maintain the housing prices and to ensure that they always go up. The problem with Florida is that they're full tilt deregulation. A lot of corruption on top of that, and you get this reality.
People to stay inside. Officials here saying that first responders, search and rescue teams now getting out to get a full assessment of the damage in this location. You have a lot of flash flooding, up to 13 inches of rain fell in just a short period of time, the equivalent of 3 months worth of rain in this area. And as you mentioned, a lot of first responders going house to house right now. Entire neighborhoods appear to be underwater as the assessment continues this morning, Vlad.
Jonathan Vigliotti showing us just how powerful that wind destruction was last night. Jonathan, thank you very much.
Is this your long lost brother reporting? That's right. I'm Italian. It's time to come out and come clean. I'm an Italian man.
Damn, this guy's good.